title of Defeating an Attitude of Defeat. Mr. Pate Smith.
Yeah. Super excited to be here with you guys. Super sad I'm not here more because I love coming to do this and think it's awesome experience. So before I get started, I'm going to draw a little graph for you guys. And this is something that I've really been working on a while and something that I've kind of seen with all my clients. So we're going to put S over here, G over here. My handwriting is terrible. Then we're going to put this here and then a line, let's say, in the middle and then here. So this is our starting spot. And this is our goal, or if we want to put it as success, or whatever we want to achieve, that's that. Let's, you know what, because we're going to use this a little more, I don't want to be going back and forth. Let's also put like a circle right here. So we're going to refer to this a little bit through this talk. But another thing I want us to go ahead and establish is none of you are incredibly special. None of you are incredibly talented. You're not gifted. Your kids aren't special. Your spouse, they don't do anything incredible. You're all pretty normal. Let's just go ahead, establish that. If you have been coming to with a mindset throughout life that, oh, I'm better than so-and-so because of reason X, you have been lying to yourself. Your kids are no better than any of the other kids in their classes. Your spouse is probably mediocre. And this is something that we should all kind of realize. The fact is, when we are born, we're genetically relatively similar. Now, as we go throughout life, different genes express differently. I know that's kind of like a new science that's been kind of hot here lately. But I think it's kind of been accepted as true. But we all start at the same place when we're born. And our reference experiences in life dictate who we are and what we are and how we do things. Now the question is, how does that have to do with my mindset? How does that have to do with my attitude? Here's the great part. Just as you're not talented or special, neither is anybody else, right? We're all starting at the same spot. Let's look at this graph. G is our goal. S is our starting spot. So maybe your goal is to lose X amount of weight, to do a marathon, to have some sort of financial or work success. Maybe your goal is to play in the NBA. I love the NBA example because people say, well, I'm not tall, I am not predisposed to be incredibly muscular, and I have let's say, a carb sensitivity that makes me fat. Well, the goal of playing in the NBA is, let's say, something great, right? Jim, how many people play in the NBA? Maybe 500 people. How many people play basketball? A couple billion. So, just because you're genetically predisposed to be good, you're not going to start anywhere except in this circle. That's your starting spot. So maybe you have bad genes, you start over here, but if you have great genes, you're probably going to start here. Any goal you have is like that. Any great goal, right? Now the question is, how expediently will you achieve your goal? Okay? It's not, can I achieve my goal? It's how expediently will you do so? And the thing in the middle is the quickest way. The quickest and usually the most traditional way. Rarely do people ever, I don't want to speak in finite terms, go by the straight line. It's always up and down, but you're never going backwards, right? Unless you quit. And that's why this is important. Looking at the people that I've worked with, people that succeed and succeed often, knock out goals, commonly just, stay motivated. They do so because they don't defeat themselves. Okay? That's super important to realize. A mindset of defeat, an attitude of defeat, it's very difficult to achieve anything, okay? I'm not saying people don't do it. I'm not saying they don't drag themselves along, but it's not likely. And by that, I mean saying things to yourself like, I can't do that. Well, I've really never been good at so-and-so, or, I just, it's going to be hard, so I don't know. I hear people say that all the time. And when I do, I laugh at them because it's honestly, they don't value their goal. That's hilarious to me. Because if it is your goal and something you really want, it's not even going to be a question of can you do it. It's how long will it take, right? Think of everything you've really wanted. If you really cared, you would do it. Oh, it's going to take a long time. Well, I'm super busy this week. Who all said that to themselves and didn't do something they probably should have? Pretty much everybody. The reason you did that was because you valued the things that kept you busy more than achieving your goal. I talked to someone this last week. They're working on losing some weight. She said, hey, I want to go out with my friends, but, I've already used my cheat day. Is it okay if I drink? I said, it's your choice. Like, what do you value more? Do you value the goal of you losing your 25 pounds before March? Or do you value this night of going out, having a couple drinks? What is it? She went out. What do you think she valued more? What was more important? Ask yourself this question, right? The attitude of I can't does not exist. It is how long will I take? That's why most people fail, is because they never allow themselves. It's hard. It's not, can I do it? How quickly can I do it? If we come into a mindset of, I'm not special, but I'm not special, but I am capable. And the question is, am I willing? So what are we? We are capable and we are willing, right? If we're those two things, we'll eventually do something. If we set ourselves out on this path, we'll start over here. Things are going. Maybe we get off track a little bit, but we don't stop. We keep going. We may be all over this, but as long as we're still trucking along, as long as we're still trying, sometimes it's going to be slow. Sometimes we're going to feel like we're not doing anything at all. We're going to hit plateaus. We're going to have bad weeks. We're going to have bad months. But as long as you're chugging along, you'll eventually get there. But an attitude of I can't rarely will. You're defeating yourself. You're never allowing yourself that journey. And here's another thing I want us to keep in mind. A willing and capable person should realize that things are going to be hard. And here's what I love. If something is hard, it's likely worth your time. Think about the stuff that's been easy to you in life, right? Like you don't likely value it. The things that have been hard and difficult are likely things that you value. So when you have something that arrives in your life that is hard, this should be an opportunity. Like, this is a blessing. You have the opportunity to learn something, to gain a life reference experience, right? Think of it. Should your goal be easy? No, it shouldn't. You're trying to achieve something greater, something extraordinary. It should not be ordinary. It should not be easy. So, remember, if it's uncomfortable, keep doing it. And it likely will eventually become comfortable. And when it does, something else will become uncomfortable. And eventually you'll do enough of those that one day you'll realize that you've achieved your goal. You're not special, but you're capable. Okay? And as long as you're willing to sit there and put in the time, embrace things that are hard, you're going to allow yourself to succeed. So thanks a lot, and I appreciate you guys letting me speak.